is a society devoted to deliver high-level, state-of-the-art education to anyone who wants to learn where our field is at the moment and where it's going. The society builds on the efforts of dozens of fellows who entirely voluntarily, without any pay or remuneration, deliver content for lectures, workshops, events like our annual course, and that is highly appreciated. Sometimes we have fellows who go above and beyond and have an extraordinary dedication to delivering service to the society. And the International Cancer Imaging Society honors these fellows with a gold medal, which has been awarded this year to Professor Dow-Mu Koh. And I would like to invite Professor Koh and Professor Padani, who is going to lecture on the achievements of Professor Koh, to the podium.
Good afternoon, everybody. So the 2018 gold medalist for the International Cancer Imaging Society is a very close friend of mine, Dow-Mu Koh. We call him Mu for short. He's a researcher, a teacher, a fellow of the society, and I think most importantly, our friend. Currently, Mu is a consultant radiologist and professor of functional imaging at the Royal Marsden Hospital and the Institute of Cancer Research in London. He's mainly based at Surrey. Mu has had a fairly short career, but has come a long way in such a short space of time. And I've just highlighted the 4 positions that he's had since he qualified for medical school. And in those 4 steps, he's made giant strides, and now a full professor of cancer imaging at the Royal Marsden in London. Mu is an extremely innovative researcher. Dabbled in a number of things, not too many, interestingly. Decided to do USPIO imaging, rapidly realized that this was going to fail, and moved on, as he tends to do, into something that's more successful. And he took on the mantle of diffusion imaging, and one of the first review articles was published by him as first author in the American Journal of Radiology, Röntgenology, AJR, and it's been cited 1,700 times, 1,760 times, as of this morning. But it's been read a lot more than that. And what he's done is he's built on that over the last 10 years. And you can see some of the areas in which he's expanded, and it's all to do with making diffusion imaging more robust so that we can use it in our practice on a daily basis. But he's looking forwards and saying, well, how can we make diffusion imaging even better to be able to contribute towards big data, some of the stuff that you've been hearing over the last few days. And I put some statistics at the bottom there. None of you can read these statistics. None of you cares about these statistics, but people like me who are on promotions committees look at those statistics and say, this is pretty impressive for such a meteoric career. All of you will know Mu as a lecturer and teacher. So he's given over 150 lectures at international radiological meetings. I didn't bother to put down the postgraduate talks and the national UK meetings. I mean, if I'd done that, it would have been 300, 350. But I just put some of the key international ones there. He also serves as a teacher at, for example, the European School of Radiology, and he's a key teacher at the Davos International Imaging course as well. He's had a number of visiting professorships, including Memorial Sloan Kettering, the National Cancer Center in Singapore, and even in Taiwan. So he is widely recognized. He serves as a leader in a number of areas. I, again, put these up here. Not only internationally, but nationally in the UK with regard to the NCRI, the National Cancer Research Institute, but then heads up that effort locally within his own institution, where, for example, he is the head of the NIHR Biomedical Research Center. So international leadership, national leadership, and also in his own organization. None of that qualifies him to get this gold medal. What does qualify him is what he does for the International Cancer Imaging Society. And here, he has been completely transformational. Yes, he's had all of these positions, and no, he doesn't sit on his backside. And he has been key for us to turn around our society from teetering on bankruptcy to actually now feeling fairly safe in terms of our financial success. If it wasn't for Mu, that would not have happened. And this meeting may never have taken place. And I mean this, and this is really true. Of course, it's not only what he does in the back room that's important, but you know what? He puts on a hard hat and goes and visits centers even before they're built. Even before they're built, and you can see that hard hat before the Glasgow meeting, and he travels with the office and makes sure that we don't spend too much money, because that has been his big focus over the last few years, but he's now beginning to relax, and he's taking on new projects, so we've given the hat of treasurer to somebody else, and he can now concentrate on his new passion, which is electronic learning. But we all know him as a traveler in life, a friend. And here are just some examples of what he did with the International Cancer Imaging Society and why we value his contribution. You can see a picture of Menton on the bottom of the left taken last night, Gianni in the middle, and Mu managing to finish the whole of that platter last night. Yes, and I did not have any of that. Xi had some. Giuseppe, slim as he is, he had a little bit, but Gianni and Mu managed to finish that off. How that happened, I have no idea. Okay. One of his biggest passions is mountain climbing. Why? I don't know. Right? Cycling up mountains seems to be a particular passion. Why? I don't know. Meditation as well, which I can sort of understand, given how high strung he is. But mountain climbing, there we go. So it's my very great pleasure to introduce you to Professor Dow-Mu Koh, who will give the acceptance speech as our gold medalist for 2018. Professor Koh.
Thank you, Anwar. I hardly recognize the person who was just describing. But thank you very, very much indeed. It is indeed an honor for me, for the fellows to have voted to bestow this gold medal on me today. A few thoughts. I mean, I joined the fellowship. I was elected to the fellowship in 2007, so it's been 11 years. And it's been an amazing journey because since day one, I've always been struck by how extraordinary and ordinary this society is. It is extremely extraordinary because if you look at our program every year, we have a collection of the most wonderful minds and teachers in cancer imaging who give up their valuable time and travel for free to come and teach on this course. It is extremely ordinary as well because we are in a group of very normal and engaging people. Many of them have become friends. And it is such a wonderful society to belong to, and it feels very much like family. So it's ordinary and extraordinary. And I think that characterizes our meetings as well. And I hope the delegates who attend this meeting will feel very much the same, that they're able to access and make contact with all the fellows at any time. Since my election in 2007, I've been very, very lucky to be able to serve as the treasurer and then a member of the executive board and the board of trustees. And that has given me a real opportunity as well to have an influence on how the society is developing. And I couldn't have done that without the support of all the fellowship, really, because many of the things that we conceive and design would not have been possible. The additional educational content that we serve to deliver would not have been possible if it's not for you volunteering to also help out in all these programs. And certainly, as Anwar said, it has managed to turn our finances around. So I just want to give thanks again to the entire fellowship for what, and this really means a lot to me. I also want to thank the people in the office, of course, Louise, Tamara, Trevor, Steve, who are at the back end of the society and provides the support needed to move some of these new agenda and new developments through. And to be fair, sometimes they're extremely stretched, but they do it anyhow, so that's wonderful. And then, of course, I think a society like this just wouldn't exist if what we put up, our training modules, our meetings, do not have the traction or the attraction for the attendees. And as long as all of you continue to come to our meetings, we will certainly be designing more courses to reach out and provide the content that you need that is relevant to your practice. And last but not least, really a big thanks to all my close friends, and you know who you are, and family who's not here, who has managed to provide me with the stability to really be selfish in doing what I like. So thank you very much indeed for this honor.
So thank you very much for attending this gold medal ceremony. And we now move on with the regular program with lung cancer session in this hall and the parallel programs in the usual halls next door. Stefan.